we work so hard to do, but it's just a certain division that needs to be brought to everyone's attention and understanding that, no, this is something that's been going on, and it's just getting to a point where it's like, all right, now enough is enough. I think
enough is enough, man. Enough is enough, man. Yeah. Yeah, enough is enough.
The larger conversation that needs to be had that is really above us, and I think that is the part that we really need to get to. So hopefully at All-Star, we can have an opportunity and a conversation, because at this time, we something needs to change.
At All-Star, they want to have an opportunity and a conversation. That's what I was alluding to in the beginning. They're going to walk into Caitlin Clark's room.
We can sit back and we can watch what's happening to Caitlin Clark. And they know how they're treating her, why they're treating her that way.
She became a roadshow. And I don't know that, and I don't want to slight anybody in college, but I don't remember seeing that at the time. And that's held true. We've wanted a player or a league that can, sort of transcend some of these spaces and have a roadshow. The NBA has had their players that people come to see, right? So when the Wolves sell tickets, there are certain games that they know people are going to come watch certain players. Caitlin Clark and some of the other rookies give us that. Obviously, Caitlin, being.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to WNBA Core. I hope you are all having an amazing day. Today, I've got another deeply compelling and highly interesting video lined up for you. If you are a true Caitlin Clark fan, you are definitely going to want to stay tuned until the very end. Before we jump in, let us know you're a part of the WNBA Core community by dropping a CC 100% in the comments below. I love seeing all the passionate Clark fans joining the conversation. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get straight into today's breakdown. An already intense WNBA atmosphere is on the verge of reaching a boiling point following recent speculation surrounding Cheryl Reeve's decision-making. Meanwhile, reports suggest Aya Wilson is having a tough time processing the latest developments ahead of All-Star Weekend. Quick pause. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to hit the like button and subscribe to WNBA Core. Believe it or not, over 93% of our viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's completely free, takes just a second, and helps us keep bringing you quality sports breakdowns. Have you subscribed already? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now, let's jump back into—
Look, man, the WNBA All-Star Draft just been had, man, and these are the teams, man. And for Team Spoon, we have the baby goat, the face of the league, the biggest in the league, one of the best and greatest women's basketball players to ever exist. I'm talking about good from birth, great from birth, Caitlin Clark.
The story. Look, the WNBA All-Star Draft format has created some incredible storylines. On Team Spoon, fans are getting to see one of the absolute biggest box office draws and greatest young talents in basketball history, the generational phenom herself, Caitlin Clark. Headline rumors have been swirling that head coach Cheryl Reeve is evaluating leadership responsibilities for the squad. Typically, the captain's role is automatically handed to a decorated league veteran or a multi-time MVP like Aya Wilson. However, reports indicate that Reeve is leaning toward awarding the captaincy to Caitlin Clark instead. While seniority and championship banners usually dictate these honors, Clark is the undeniable engine behind record-breaking merchandise sales, packed-out arenas, and historic broadcast ratings. For a game celebrating the league's landmark 30th season, Reeve understands the massive commercial weight behind that decision.
The god Caitlin Clark vaporized the Seattle Storm, dropping 45 points, a 45 and 10 double-double. Let's fucking go, Caitlin Clark. We see all the fucking haters. We see all you bitch-ass clowns switching up on the god Caitlin Clark. We see y'all listening to the narratives, all the bullshit, all the fucking clowns all across the world. Oh, she ain't living up to the hype and dropped 45 points.
You don't have to look far to understand why a head coach would lean toward Clark. Recently, Clark delivered an astonishing performance against the Seattle Storm, dropping a career-high 45 points along with 10 assists to set a franchise scoring record and become the first player in WNBA history to post a 40-point, 10-assist stat line. She accomplished all of this with supreme efficiency in under 30 minutes of action. It wasn't just a streak of good shooting, she operated on a completely different standard than everyone else on the floor. Her teammates excelled as well, with Kelsey Mitchell adding 30 points of her own in a thrilling team victory. However, behind the scenes, tension is mounting rapidly.
They're gonna knock on the door. Caitlin Clark's gonna open the door to her hotel room. She's gonna peek through it, and there's gonna be that, that sliding thing on the door, and all there's gonna be is like the chain. And she's gonna peek through and say, "Oh shit!" She's gonna try to close the door, and then all the players at one time, Brittany Griner, Asia Wilson, they're all gonna just, "Oh, let me in, let me in." They're gonna bum rush her. They're gonna bum rush into that room. And they're gonna tie Caitlin Clark up to a chair. They're gonna tell Caitlin Clark, "You're not leaving this room until you come out and you denounce those pesky fans of yours."
Reports indicate that Wilson has called for private player meetings to address ongoing league dynamics. Some media outlets suggest the conversation is subtly aimed at Clark following weeks of fan debate over officiating and narrative focus. Fans have quickly pointed out the double standard. When Clark expresses frustration with referee calls, it generates national headlines and opinion pieces, whereas similar outbursts from veteran stars often pass without mainstream critique.
Look at Angel Wilson barking at the ref. Look how she's talking to the ref. Y'all were cool with this. Look, so much aggression. Let me guess, y'all gonna call this passion. Because this is what y'all do. Just last night, y'all was trying to trash Caitlin because she was upset and spoke her mind to the refs as she should have, because the ref continued to not give her calls that we can clearly see are calls. But I guess when Angel Wilson does it, it's fine. Why?
When you mix a potential captaincy snub with an incoming players meeting, you create a volatile situation. This isn't a scenario where players can avoid each other on opposing sidelines. Clark and Wilson are sharing the exact same bench and game plan under Team Spoon for the All-Star Showcase in Chicago. Sharing a locker room under that level of media scrutiny turns a celebratory weekend into an exceptionally awkward environment. This dynamic didn't appear overnight. In media interviews dating back to late 2024, Wilson noted that the intense wave of attention surrounding Clark's entry into the league momentarily overshadowed the contributions of the veterans who built the WNBA long before Clark arrived. While Wilson is fully entitled to speak on league history as a legendary four-time MVP and champion, her continuous references to the topic during media appearances keep the narrative alive week after week. Even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver weighed in on the noise, famously acknowledging that Clark has essentially become a political football in modern sports media. Silver's comments highlighted that Clark represents something far larger than just on-court performance. She is a cultural phenomenon that different factions constantly debate over. League executives have had to walk a delicate tightrope, protecting the unprecedented economic growth Clark brings to the sport while trying not to alienate veteran players. Fan reactions to the captaincy reports have completely split the sports community online. One side argues that because Clark drives global television ratings, venue sellouts, and apparel sales, any coach focused on maximizing the broadcast spectacle would naturally name her captain. The opposing view holds that Wilson deserves the leadership mantle based on established league seniority and veteran dominance. The reality is that both arguments hold truth, which is precisely why the debate refuses to die down. Furthermore, this year's All-Star rosters were chosen through a unique live ESPN broadcast featuring legends Cynthia Cooper and Teresa Weatherspoon as honorary general managers. Because the selection process was turned into a major television event, every roster decision, including starting designations and captain bans, is under a massive spotlight. There is no subtle way to make a decision. The fans and media will dissect every move instantly. For the past 2 years, Clark's teammates in Indiana have watched this outside noise unfold up close. For the most part, they have chosen to ignore the commentary, letting their play do the talking. In that same historic win against Seattle, Clark and Mitchell combined for 75 of Indiana's 110 points. Despite Seattle throwing constant double teams at Clark, she continually elevated her squad. For a coach evaluating current momentum, putting Clark at the center of the event is simple logic aimed at entertaining a massive global audience. Wilson has previously admitted that performing in environments heavily dominated by Indiana Fever crowds can be frustrating due to the sheer intensity of the fan base. When you connect those past statements to current locker room reports, it reveals a clear pattern that resurfaces every time Clark achieves another historic milestone. To be clear, coaching staff decisions are not made to slight veteran players or undermine established legacies. Coaches prioritize putting on the absolute best show possible for an event designed to celebrate the league's 30th anniversary. While seasoned stars hold incredible accolades, no individual in WNBA history has driven arena sellouts and box office metrics on the scale that Clark consistently delivers. Strip away the complex commentary, and what remains is a collection of hyper-competitive, world-class athletes navigating an unprecedented shift in media attention. Clark didn't take anything away from her peers when she put up 45 points and 10 assists in under 30 minutes, she simply played elite basketball. While veteran players continue to address fairness and attention distribution in interviews, Clark's approach has been the exact opposite. She doesn't engage in subtle social media spats or media arguments. Night after night, she lets the box score speak for itself. Over time, letting performance outshine the noise proves to be the most effective strategy in professional sports. As All-Star Weekend unfolds in Chicago, both stars will wear the same jersey for a game intended to highlight 30 years of WNBA growth. Whether private conversations take place behind closed doors or play out in front of sideline reporters, sharing a roster makes the dynamic impossible to ignore. Yet, based on everything we've seen, Clark will continue doing what she has always done. Regardless of the surrounding discourse, she will continue setting records, setting up teammates, and drawing millions of eyes to the sport. Her historic 45-point, 10-assist masterclass wasn't a fluke, it was a statement of what the future of basketball looks like. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe to WNBA Core, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think should hold the captaincy honor, and how do you see this all-star dynamic playing out? Keep the conversation respectful, stay safe, and we will see you in the very next video.